Sony's next generation virtual reality headset is on the horizon, and with it, the promise of a much improved experience over its predecessor. As it happens, early playtesters are singing its praises, and with exciting VR-only launch titles such as Horizon Call of the Mountain ready to immerse players, it may be that for those who can afford to stump up the cash, PSVR2 might just be hitting a home run. Sony have pretty much upgraded everything for their next VR headset, so here's 15 of the biggest differences before PSVR2's launch on February 22nd. Huge price hike. Straight off the bat, an important difference between PSVR2 and Sony's original PlayStation virtual reality headset is the substantial price increase. PSVR2 features a bevy of upgraded specs, which we will get into in this feature, so it's down to the individual if they think PSVR2 is worthy of the price hike. For those who don't know, PSVR2 will retail at $549, £529, and €599. When compared to PSVR's starting price of £349, PSVR2 comes in at a whopping 34% higher price over its predecessor. Substantial resolution upgrade. Sony has confirmed that the PSVR2 will come equipped with OLED HDR in-headset displays at a resolution of 2000 by 2040 per eye. In comparison, PSVR shipped with RGB OLED displays with a resolution of 960 by 1080 per eye. Now, one of the common complaints levied on the original virtual reality headset was a tendency for its graphics to get a little fuzzy around the edges. In fact, poor screen quality was very noticeable at times. So it's clear with this PSVR2's 4 times as crisp resolution, Sony are looking to address these complaints. Single wire connection. The first PSVR headset required multiple wires to connect to the PS4. Of course, multiple wires dangling across living rooms presents many an opportunity for trip-ups. Plus, requiring more than one wire was just plain cumbersome. Sony has addressed this issue with the PSVR2, which will now only require a single wire to set up. The wire itself plugs into the headset at one end and slots into one of the PS5's USB ports at the other. It's a shame Sony haven't replicated the Oculus Quest 2's wireless capability, but one wire is still an improvement on the PSVR2's predecessor. No breakout box. In addition to multiple cables to and from the headset, the original PSVR also shipped with a breakout box that was required as a central hub to connect the headset to the external camera and TV. So in addition to the breakout box requiring 2 connections from the headset, it needed to be plugged into the PS4's USB and HDMI ports, plus a connection to the TV and be plugged into an external power source. Sony have done away with this requirement, meaning PSVR2 will be a much more streamlined system to set up. External camera no longer required. PSVR required an extra peripheral, an external camera placed somewhere in the vicinity to track player movement. Now, this camera was never originally designed for VR, and as a result, this outside-in tracking method suffered from poor accuracy and limited coverage. Instead, PSVR2 ships with 4 cameras embedded into the headset. This inside-out method will vastly improve player and controller tracking for PSVR2. New controller design. PSVR2 ditches its predecessor's PS Move controllers for something altogether more sophisticated. Indeed, PSVR2's controller shape and size should comfortably accommodate almost any hand size and promote a higher degree of natural movement thanks to their tracking rings and thumbsticks, the former of which enables the controller to detect finger location and recognize input without pressing any buttons, whilst the latter should alleviate the awkwardness of point-and-click movement. Also, like PS5's DualSense, PSVR2's controllers come equipped with adaptive triggers and haptic feedback. PSVR2 utilizing Fresnel Lenses. Sony eschewed the VR industry standard Fresnel lenses for PSVR, utilizing a single-element non-Fresnel design instead. But for its second iteration, they've confirmed the switch. Now, Fresnel lenses are a relatively cheap component whose primary draw is to magnify images and bring them into focus at the cost of glare and other potential artifacts. PSVR2 has prompted Sony to rethink its lens choice, with presumably the chance of optical artifacts now negligible due to higher pixel depth. Built-in headset motor. Sony's all about the haptic feedback for its current generation hardware, so it's no surprise PSVR2's headset comes equipped with a built-in motor to provide vibration and other head-oriented stimulus to strengthen the player's connection to what's happening on screen. Whether every player appreciates a vibrating head when playing in VR remains to be seen, but it's a decent feature with potential to boost player immersion. Wider field of view. Alongside the potential for PSVR 2's substantially improved image quality, Sony are also touting a wider field of view. PSVR 2 will stretch its pixels over 110 degrees, compared to 100 degrees in the PSVR. Now, this isn't a massive increase, but an incremental change which might only be detectable should the two headsets be compared side by side. One thing is for sure, PSVR 2's 4 times as sharp image quality means there's room to stretch the pixels over a wider field of view without any negative effect. Eye tracking. Long expected to become consumer tech, but up to now only featuring in prestige high-end units, PSVR 2's eye tracking capability has potential to open up a whole new world of gaming possibilities. Sony have confirmed eye tracking in PSVR 2 will allow for foveated rendering, that is, to track exactly where the player is looking and render that relatively small picture area in high detail, leaving everything in their peripheral vision out of focus. The main advantage to this is to save on computing power, but of course there are other potential benefits such as eye-based input. IPD lens adjustments. Standing for interpupillary distance, IPD adjustments in PSVR 2 allow the headset to match the distance between the center of the player's pupils. IPD in adults is fixed but can alter ever so slightly depending on what the eyes are focusing on. By having IPD lens adjustments capability in PSVR 2's headset, Sony are minimizing the potential for reduced image quality and eye comfort. The original PSVR's eye relief feature is retained to meaning those with glasses will be able to dial in the perfect viewing distance between eyes and lenses. Air vents to reduce fogginess. Pretty self-explanatory this one. PSVR 2's headset had been designed with the sweaty gamer in mind. It'll come with a dedicated air ventilation system to promote cooling airflow. Together with a lighter and slimmer headset design, wearing PSVR 2 for long periods will be a cooler, more comfortable experience with much less potential for screen fogging when compared with PSVR. Pass-through view. Due to the original PSVR relying on an external camera, it was incapable of pass-through view, that is, the ability for the player to look through the headset to see their surroundings in real time. Now, PSVR 2 comes equipped with in-headset cameras, so players will now be able to grab a quick view of their room without taking the headset off and totally breaking immersion. Play space boundary. Because of the PSVR 2's pass-through view capability, players can now create a more accurate play space boundary. Free from the shackles of multiple cables, breakout boxes, and meager external camera tracking, PSVR 2 players will now be able to create a truer picture of their playing area, allowing opportunity to move and look anywhere within the confines of a single cable without the worry of smashing the controller into their TV screen. PSVR 2 is PS5 only. Possibly least surprising of all the points in this rundown, owing to its haptic feedback capability, PSVR 2 is a PS5 exclusive. If there are PS5 players who want to dive into the world of virtual reality but can't stump up the cash for PSVR 2, the original PSVR works on PS5 alongside PS4 and PS4 Pro. For PSVR 2 though, it's PS5 only, and currently its unlikely backwards compatibility will be a feature. So what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.